Here's the only two things that you should invest in your 20s, especially if you don't want to end up 40 years old and completely like my man Sam here behind the camera.
I thought this gig pays.
Joining us is my man, Keala Kanae.
Keala Kanae, he takes entrepreneurs on a journey to grow their business.
The number one thing that I think that every 20-something-year-old should invest in, and this is the thing that I invested in at 27 years old, which is probably most responsible for where I'm at in my life today, is investing in themselves. Specifically what I mean is investing in learning about ourselves. Consider this for a moment. From the time that we're born to about 3 years old, we've heard the term no probably thousands of times. We're literally being told all the time not to do something. Then we enter a school system wherein we live in this environment where there's only one right answer to every question, except that's not the way that life actually works. And of course, as we grow up, we're more and more inundated by all of these voices on the outside. We have our parents, teachers, counselors, friends, family members, society, the media telling us what we ought to do, need to do, should do, have to do in order to quote unquote be successful. It's no surprise then that for most of us, by the time we're in our late teens and about to graduate high school, we have no clue what we want to do with the rest of our life. So we end up going to college and getting a degree because that's what we're supposed to do. We find a spouse, we get married, we get a house, we get a white picket fence and 1.6 children because that's what we're supposed to do. And then eventually most people end up waking up to all of this by the time they're in their 40s or 50s, and then it's a little too late because now they've got a house and bills and a spouse and kids and all of these things that are relying on them. And so now they look back and go, why did I spend decades doing this stuff that I'm not inspired about, that I don't necessarily enjoy, that hasn't made my life more fulfilling, but now it's too late because they got too many anchors attached to them for them to go back and start unraveling it. But if we would just spend more time in our 20s really learning about ourselves, then we would have much better vision for what we want to create in our life and a much greater chance of creating a life that's going to be inspiring and fulfilling. Now, what that looked like for me at 27 years old was beginning my personal development journey. I had a friend that referred me to a seminar. I attended this 3-day seminar that was basically like holding up a mirror to myself for 3 days. And it allowed me to really ask myself some crucial questions. Who am I? What do I want to do with my life? What really inspires me? What fires me up? Why do I believe this stuff? Where did those beliefs come from? I began to see that a lot of the things that I believed to be true weren't true. They were just beliefs that I was brought up around. They were beliefs that I adapted based on my environment, based on the people that were around me in life. And here's the thing. Most of the people that were around me in life growing up, they did not have anything that I wanted to have in life. So how could their beliefs possibly support me in creating the life that I wanted to create for myself? But if I had never stopped to ask and question these things, I would have discovered it 10, 20, 30 years later, if ever possibly. So investing in ourselves is really a process of introspection. Maybe that requires a seminar. Maybe that requires a coach or a mentor. Maybe it requires reading some books, watching some videos, but really asking yourself the tough questions and really, kind of peeling back the onion a bit and taking a good hard look at who am I? Why do I believe these things? Where did these beliefs come from? And do these beliefs that I'm holding on to support me in getting to where it is that I want to go? Trust me, I'm a doctor.
No, you're not.
What do you mean? My mom told me I could be anything I wanted when I grow up, Sam.
My mom said I could be a camera guy.
The second thing that I'm going to recommend here is what I began investing in at 29 years old and ultimately got me to where I'm at today. And if anything, I wish I began investing in this sooner, and that is skills. For generations now, what people have been doing is graduating high school, going to college in order to learn some skills so I can get a job. And they go and study, and eventually they do in fact acquire skills. They go out and they do a job, but they never stop to ask themselves if that was really what they wanted to do for the next 30, 40, 50, 60 years of their life. That's why I recommended number one. Now, once you know what you want to do, what you would love to do, what you would find most meaningful and most fulfilling, then it's going to take skills to go out and accomplish that goal and dream, regardless of what it is. Now, let's talk about how we design an income for a moment. People talk about income like it's this big mythical, mystical thing, like, I don't know, how do I create more money? How do I make more? Or that rich people somehow got lucky. No, that's not how it works. Here's how simple it is. Whatever we're going to make in life is going to be attached to some set of skill that we are bringing to the marketplace. The marketplace is going to assign a value to that skill. And then we can multiply that by whatever leverage we can attach to that skill. Here's a simple example. A heart surgeon. Do they have a skill? Absolutely. Is that skill valuable? Well, it's saving lives. That's pretty dang valuable. But notice that they have no leverage. They can only work on one patient at a time. Then we have a wide receiver that plays in the NFL. People complain, oh my God, it's so unfair that a wide receiver makes more than a school teacher or whatever it is. But let's think about this for a moment. What skill does that wide receiver have? Well, they can run and catch. That's awesome. But what value are they bringing to the marketplace? Well, the real value that they're bringing to the marketplace is entertainment. And boy, oh boy, do we live in a society that loves being entertained. Probably because most people woke up at some point and realized that they were out working some job that they hated, and now they want to check out a little bit every day. But you know, that's besides the point. So back to the lecture at hand, the value of entertainment is massive. Now, do they have any leverage? Well, every time that they step out on that field to go out and catch that ball, not only can tens of thousands of fans fill the seats, but millions of people can tune in right from their home to watch. So that wide receiver has a massive amount of leverage. That, my friend, is why a wide receiver makes more money than a heart surgeon. So once you understand that, you realize that if you're going to create an income, of course, go out and find something that you're going to find meaningful. Find something that you are going to be fulfilled by for the rest of your life. And understand that you're going to have to learn some skills in order to make that come to life. And if you can attach some sort of leverage to that skill set, the more money that you can make. Let's think about it like this. If I want to invest in the skill set of sales because I know that selling could help me accomplish my goals and dreams, great. Over time, I can learn how to be a great salesperson, and I can sit across from somebody and I can generate a sale. Is that a skill? Yes, it is. Notice that it doesn't have much leverage because I can only sell one person at a time. But now let's say that I decide to teach people this skill set of sales that I've learned. Well, now maybe I can have a coaching program with 10 or 20 people signing up, and every week I get on and I teach them some sort of a sales tactic. Pretty good, I've got more leverage now. Now let's say though that I take all of my knowledge about sales and I distill that down into an online course that I sell for $500 or $1,000. And now tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, potentially even millions of people could buy that course from me without it costing me one iota of additional time. Now I have massive amounts of leverage. So listen, the point here is very simple. If you're in your 20s, the best thing that you should invest in is learning about yourself so you can unlearn most of the bullshit that we have been inundated with throughout our early childhood and early adulthood. Number two, once you know what you want to do with the rest of your life, invest in a set of skills that are going to help you go out and accomplish that. If you can find a skill set that you can attach some leverage to, you're going to make all that much more wealth doing it. So listen, if you got value out of this video, make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell notification so you get notified every week when I drop more content like this, designed to help you create more success in your life and your business. And by the way, in case we've never met before, my name is Keala Kanae. I'm an entrepreneur that got started while working in a coffee shop like this, and now I've gone on to become a doctor.
No, you're not.
Okay, I'm not a doctor. I'm an entrepreneur and I've built multiple 7- and 8-figure businesses. I say that so that you know that everything that I share on my channel comes from the real world knowledge of things that I've learned and applied that have helped me create those results. And I share them here in hopes that they help you create similar results as well. So make sure you subscribe, hit that little bell button so you get notified every week, and watch this next video in the lineup to help you create more success in your 20s.